All praise always to the most mighty Hayashaya. Bahashem Mashiach Yeshai, this your Akshema, right? Sanctified seed of Jeshurun. Set apart, offspring of the Most High, chosen peculiar treasure in the earth. Hoping, praying, and seeking to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, faith in the Mashiach Yeshai, and walking all the fruits of the Kodash Ruach power, right? Pray you're having a blessed Sabbath, right? Pray your season from your labors. Pray you're keeping yourself surrendered. Blessing the Most High on this set apart convocation, right? As the angels do in heaven, right? Just wanted to speak on a little bit of, news that's going on in the earth. Um, China, no more cash, right? ATMs are basically obsolete. I think they have them there just so you can check your balance. They're not giving out no more fiat in China, and it's been going on already for a couple weeks. No more cash, and they're seizing cash, meaning you walk into a place and you buy with some cash. They're like, yeah, got security in there. Like, give me the rest of your money too. They don't want nobody else having fiat cash no more. It's going on in China, right? Mind you, everything goes on Earth. They just preview what's going to come to Babylon, right? And Babylon's going to have all this stuff going on, right? In China, no more fiat currency, right? Forcing them to be on, whatever type of cryptocurrency that nation has. I'm not familiar which one it is, but making everybody get on the crypto. I'm gonna get back to that too, cryptocurrency. Singapore. This one is kind of hot here. Singapore is not now criminalizing anti such and such people who don't want to take the medicine. Criminalizing, threatening them with not a fine, not a slap on the wrist, but imprisonment. Right? Sound familiar? Right? If you don't want to take any medicine, for the so-called next one that's supposed to come up, or any other one they feel they want to just impose, they're going to put you in prison in Singapore. So, and y'all think about traveling, you might want to think about twice about going over there, right? I want to talk about real quick Iran, right? They seem to develop some more technology, that's more advanced than way more advanced than stuff they were shooting over at the state of Israel in June, and at a couple of U.S. bases that's in the area. Like they basically said, the stuff they were shooting was made like 2 or 3 years ago. It's like we didn't even shoot our new stuff. He said, and the stuff that we've had technological advances since June that's better than the stuff that we already really had right now, right? And then they made some threats. They made some threats like, we hit anybody in Europe. We got joints that can shoot 2,000 kilometers. We hit London if we want to, right? And they said, when we have this conflict, with Israel, because right now they're kind of feeling like, maybe we should just do a preemptive strike because Israel's not going to warn us. They're just going to surprise us again. So why don't we just shoot them first? Because it's inevitable they're going to shoot us again. They're going to bomb us again. So they're thinking about it. But they said if America joins again this time, the next missile they shoot is not going to be at a military base in this region, not going to be at a warship. It said it's going to hit Washington, D.C. or New York. That's what they said, right? They said we're able to go into the waters with our submarines, I guess international waters, and launch from international waters, and we will hit. He said the according to technology we got, we will hit New York or DC, right? Y'all saw the type of stuff they were shooting. I don't know if I hope y'all did. If y'all didn't, they got some stuff going on over there. I talked about it a couple videos ago, and so they said they got better stuff than that, right? They've got they've re-upped on their missiles. They switched from Russia and decided to get all their, most of their military, weapons, basically the missiles and artillery from China. Because, but Russia did give them a S-400, a missile defense system, but Russia didn't want to give them nothing else, especially talking about the cybersonic missile technology. I don't know what happened with that. Something happened. But China stepped in. And y'all know how China do. China get down. They say, look, will invest in your infrastructure, the building up of their country, railroads, power plants, stuff like that. If you can, guarantee us that we can get first dibs on your oil. They just did a big old job with big old deal with China. So China, they got that going on. Mind you, Iran's under sanctions. U.S. Navy being a harbor is trying to keep them from selling the oil, but they got land corridors that they've created with China, and so China can get all the oil they want, and U.S. can't do nothing about it. So um, that's nothing going on with that. Um, what's going on? Another thing that's going on. Bill Gates, right? The devil's son, right? This dude, bro. So y'all remember he got out of he sold Microsoft, right? I remember that. Start up another company, right? Mind you, we start a company. Real talk, if you're a businessman, once it's has a certain value, you're supposed to sell it, right? And then you just start up another company and build that up from scratch with pennies and try to do it again. So of course his is not for monetary gain. He's already a billionaire. This dude got some company that he's investing in, and it's basically in medicine. Mind you, the dude I told you a long time ago never went to medical school. He ain't a doctor, a nurse, or nothing, right? He just feel like he get to just deal with medical situations all over the earth. Gets to massively produce certain, medicines, and he's not a doctor at all. And so there's I had a screenshot on my phone about a patch, right? It's like a little square like this big, right? And it's plastic, but under a microscope, it has like little needles on it. Think about like 4 by 4 or 5 by 5 needles in a square in 4 different spots on this plastic patch like this, right? And it's being described as a tattoo, a um a tattooable ID, right? And so this is something that he's coming up with, just saying it's going to take the place of smartphones, cell phones soon. Everything that they done got you accustomed to doing on your cell phone now, whether controlling your dumb TV, paying bills, opening doors, stuff like that, using it as a mouse for your computer, everything. It's now going to be all. They said the phone is going to be obsolete because this patch is going to be able to have those same features and more on it as it when they tattoo it to your body, and you're going to be able to do all these things with the swipe of a hand or a gesture or just a thought in your mind, right? I know this sounds familiar. Guess what the patent of this is, right? And mind you, he's using his old company, as like a carrier for this technology, Microsoft Network, because this is all computerized. And there's a patent, and the patent number is 060606, y'all, right? What the patent is, right? Sound familiar, right? Um, Mind you, in the law, in fact, let's get a couple scriptures, right, on this here. All glory to the Most Mighty. Hold on 1 second, y'all. 1 second. What's this thing? Give me 1 second, y'all. Oh, man. Well, I'm gonna just speak while I'm doing this, y'all. Um, they got this situation going on, and this situation is in play to get people to put these phones down, right? Once they put these phones down, they're like, look, this is what you can do. I heard a person talking to my daughter about it. The man's online already claiming to have this type of, advantages to do this type of stuff with this technology, man. Right? He got this dumb technology. He moving mouses, he opening doors, he programming locks on his garage, open the door in his house. He doing all this stuff, right? So Let's just get that in Revelation right quick, and then we'll get one more. All right, because I'm going to tell you right now, the Christian faith, I feel like they're going to be really stumped by a lot of this stuff, right? This is Revelation 13 and verse, we read from 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. You got to watch the video on that so you can understand the understanding of that completely. The mark can be in your head and in your right hand, or it can be anywhere else on your body. And the technology that's in what that's put in you, anywhere in your body, is going to make you what? Be in agreement in your mind, to program your mind, because they send low frequency radio waves to program you in your mind. And then with your right hand, you're going to set forth and do that which is programmed in your mind to do. So understand, it can be in your head like some of the people are getting from Elon Musk, or it can be the smart patch, you know what I'm saying? Or it can be people that took the medicine, right? 3 administrations. We're reading about the third one right now, but verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, right? And it said, verse 18, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So, tell you the Microsoft patent, 060606, right? For this new little smart patch. They call it a smart patch, right? The emergence, of Most High's perfect creation and man's creation, which is robotics, right, is the image of the beast, y'all, right? And we're seeing it more and more. It makes you really think back, how long they've been planning this. Long time. Makes you think back on these dumb movies, Elysium, Terminator, RoboCop, right? iRobot. They shown us exactly the image of the beast all this time, right? And they want us to be on board with it, right? They want us to do, be in agreement and worship the beast. I understand. Worshiping in the beast is just acknowledging it and being in agreement with it. There's 2 types of worship, right? There's a worship that's doing an animal sacrifice, and there's worship just acknowledging. 3 wise men didn't do an animal sacrifice to Mashiach. They just acknowledged that he was what? The Son of the Most High. And he was born. Right? Now let's get another law. Because in the law, and this is where Christians might stumble. This is where Christians might get deceived, because they don't believe that they're not reverencing their being Israelites anyway. But those that are of the Christian faith, I know a couple people of the Christian faith that know they're Israel, but they'll tell you quick. Paul said, I'm not under the law. I'm under grace. So let's look at one of the laws that will actually keep you, from taking this mark right here, right? This is Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 28. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead. When you look up these words in that Revelation 19, right? Revelation 13, you have the word karagma, which is mark karagma. It means an etching, a piercing in your skin. It says, ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Most High. So if you were to keep the law as the Most High commanded us, you will not even make the mistake of even considering to get this thing on your body, because it's a transgression of the law, right? And as we read, it's going to be a really, really sore judgment for anyone who transgresses this law, because you're actually taking a mark when you transgress that law, right? And so, just want to bring that, a little bit of that information out, that this thing, is being pushed. Mind you, we already talked about the biometric, takeover, when they scanning your eyes, scanning your face. They got your biometrics set up for your phone, just for simple stuff that you want to do on your phone. Everything is bio, right? There's this company called Palantir, you guys. You can Google and look it up. They're basically a data company, a data collecting company. The CIA actually, let them partner with them to track everybody via biometric, via technology, via your phone, Google, Facebook. All of that stuff, man. All this stuff is about data. Data's worth more than gold right now. Because what? These programs of these robotics that they're merging with humans, they want to have information for them. So the real time character and reactions of everyone, they're logging this, and they want to keep it and sell it to the highest bidder. Palantir is one of these companies, and I'm gonna tell y'all something about what they got going on. There's this new oh my goodness, what was the name of that thing? Total Information Awareness, TIA. Y'all listen to this. There's this new program I think that the CIA is pushing. It's called a TIA, Total Information Awareness. And that means exactly what it's titled. They want to know everything about you because they got this type of plan they want to put forth. And I'm gonna give you a reference. Any of y'all ever seen that movie, Minority Report? I think it's with Tom Cruise. I think that's the name of the movie. In that movie, they had these things they call the precogs. They're like these dumb mermaid girls in some water that would predict crimes, right? They would predict crimes in this futuristic police department. And the police will go out and arrest the people before, depending on what these precogs showed them, they would go arrest people before they did the crime. So having a type of pre-crime department element in their police department. And so total information awareness is the same thing, you guys. They want to be able to, off data, y'all, this is off random data, off citizens in the United States, whether you're a criminal or not, to start predicting, I think these people are going to do something. Let's go arrest them and lock them up. And you don't have to go to trial because you ain't did nothing yet. So they're going to, like, basically just, you're guilty and just going to lock you up for how long they feel like it, because they're arresting you off the intelligence that they feel is credible. Therefore, they don't have to take you to no trial and they can just keep you locked up. I hope y'all heard what I just said, dude. They just can just snatch you up. It's called a Total Information Awareness Act. Go look it up. And of course, what it's going to do is give them another reason to just slap the cuffs on you or the zip ties and just lock you up for nothing. For nothing, you guys. Right? Mind you, they're exercising the rights of Rex 84, right? King Alfred plan. You know, they done federalized DC. They got National Guard troops in Ohio, West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, even for the Hurricane Aaron I heard about right now, got them out there. But the reason they're out there might be kind of skewed, might be a little confused. You know, people might think they're out there for the hurricane, but Trump is slowly federalizing, you know, or militarizing the nation. He's threatened to send the National Guard out and federalize Oakland, Chicago, Philadelphia, LA. They already got National Guard out there, and a couple of other states because of quote unquote crime. When it's been all over the news that DC's crime has actually dropped, you know, in the last couple of years. So it's showing you that they have an agenda they're going to push forward regardless, and they're going to put propaganda on TV to make you think something is this and something is that, and they're just lying because they already got this planned out, y'all. All right, mind you, I say they're exercising Rex 84 / King Alfred plan because you got ATF involved, you got ICE, you got Customs, you got CIA, you got federal agents all working in conjunction with each other, in addition to state and local police in DC and all these cities. When they see the coming together and the organizing of all these law enforcement agencies, that's Rex 84. Like, I don't know if I read it to y'all, or all the law enforcement, when they get under one umbrella, that's called Rex 84. And so it can be like a test for it, or it can just be putting in place, because when they declare Rex 84, which is the title that martial law falls under, all federal, from federal, the highest levels of law enforcement to the lowest levels of law enforcement, meaning city police, all the way up to federal agents and everything in between, ATF, all that is going to be merged, state troopers, into one militarized force. And and they can lock you up indefinitely, right? Constitution suspended, all of that. So this is what he's saying to people who don't know, that we about to put in all the elements to be able to put your martial law in any minute, any second. Um, the state of emergency has already been declared in every state in the nation since Biden was in office, and he hasn't taken that off. So they're still all under the state of emergency, right? I'm gonna bring out one more thing to y'all. Listen to this. This junk is crazy right here. There's a pastor in California, right? Christian pastor, Esau, right? But this is what this dude said. He said there's a law that's they were pushing. I heard about this yesterday. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if it went through. But this junk ain't funny. This junk is stupid serious. He said if this bill gets passed, that the rest of the people that are still in Cali, because mind you, a gang of people have moved out of the state of California. I think over 7 million people have moved out of California. Probably, I'm one of them, glory to the Most High. But they moved out of California, but some of them just moved to other states, Arizona, New Mexico, Florida, right? He said if this bill passes and you have children, you need to move out of the state of California. So I'm like, what this dude talking about? This dude said there's a bill, and forgive me for not having the exact words and details of what he said as far as the name of it, but he said there's a bill that's about to be passed where a man can go to a computer and print up the form off the site. I can't remember the site, but the site gives you the form and you can fill it out as a random dude, fill it out and take it up to the school. You can take it up to the school, and the school don't have to ask you for no ID, who you are you the uncle, the brother, the daddy, the cousin, nothing. They can take the paper up to the school, you guys, and the school, if he wants to like pick up the child from school, the school will take that paper as a valid document, as what we would know, emergency card, and release that kid to that adult without even knowing if that's the child's kin or any of that. And they don't have to call the real parents who they have on file that are the parents for the kids. They said this is getting voted into. Gavin Newsom, devil dude, like, what are you doing? What is that? What they doing? Number one, they're making it easier to do what they already been doing with kidnap kids. Number two, they're making it to where they can get some more sacrifices for the deity that they serve. You know, I don't know about, what's the name of that place? Up north, where they got the dumb owl. What they be doing, Silicon Valley. You know what they doing? They be sacrificing kids, man. Straight up, man. What they doing, man? So if these, y'all need to check about a law about random people who could just get paper and fill it out, and it's under a certain, I gotta find out what it is, but y'all can just Google about new laws or new information being passed, a new bill being passed in California where random people can just declare themselves eligible to pick up random kids, and the school don't even gotta call the parent and say, yo, we releasing your kid to such and such because he up here picking him up. You might go to pick your kid up from school, and little man, your little daughter might not even be there, bro. I'm telling y'all the truth. Just outrageous, weirdo stuff. This is the stuff that's going on. In addition to all the other records that's already going on in the country, this stuff it has no sense to somebody that's sane. Mind you, they got pedophilia almost like basically legal, all over the country because of the bills. There was a man and there was a dude that from the nation of the people that called themselves the people, that called himself us, right? That was in Vegas, and he got caught trying to deal with an underage, a minor. And they caught him, took him to jail. But what they do? Vegas was on some stuff like, well, the rule is $10,000 bond. He paid the $10,000 bond, so we let him out. Dude's like got out and hopped on the first thing smoking, and went back to the state of Israel. Just don't gotta go back for court or nothing. And the city and the officials is like, parents and everybody's like, why did y'all let him go? Why y'all didn't seize his passport? Like, what's up? What kind of sense? Y'all ain't got no sense. Dual had dual citizenship. And the Vegas police basically, the court system basically like, look, we follow laws here. That's the rule. We can't just change it up because he's a foreigner or whatever. He paid the 10. That's what we're supposed to do. We can't change the law for the dude. But they didn't take his passport. And so I'm just showing you, these are the type of things, that is just, the country is massaging into our reality. Those of y'all that's still in Babylon, if you're not seeing what's going on, they're just making it more and more evil, more and more legal to be wicked. That's why the Most High gotta, let that place fall, right? Gotta let it go down. So yeah, if you're in Cali, I mean, I'm always telling you, come out of Babylon, that you be like the scripture says in Revelation 18, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins and receive of her plagues, right? Talk to y'all about one of the plagues, right? That was going on in Houston, right? 200,000 people with HIV. I told y'all another way how they have gotten that, not just from, having intercourse, with, a partner or whatever. Atlanta. Now they're experiencing a breakout too. Over 100,000 positive cases of HIV in Atlanta. Y'all, it's a plague, right? I gotta tell you, man, the way they're putting it out, though, they're not putting it out with the complete information that stuff is in the medicine. HIV is in the medicine, you guys. And people think, oh, it's about, this fornication stuff that's going on, which is still evil and wicked, but they're tricking you, right? Making you think that this is some stuff going on. But I mean, this is a reason for them to declare again, have another reason to say off a state emergency. We got this outbreak, this stuff is out of control, this, that, and the third. And so all these things have one or two or three faucets to where it's gonna, trigger panic. It's gonna make people stay in the house, which is what they want. Keep you from getting that free vitamin D. Get you accustomed to lockdowns when they do lock down everything, and get them to be able to declare, whatever they feel like they got to declare because of a quote unquote state of emergency. Put their, soldiers out, all that. And so this thing is going to continue to keep going. They're going to keep having these false flags and keep having these things that are true, but they're putting out as different type of information to spook you and scare you. That stuff is in the medicine, you guys. That's why it's an outbreak of that. That's why they got these positive tests, because it's in the medicine. All right. Of course, you got that Hurricane Aaron going over there, Aaron or whatever. I got some partners that stay in the Carolinas. I'm praying for y'all. Most I protect y'all, keep y'all safe. These things are gonna, keep happening. They playing with the weather for sure, you guys. I pray, we pray for one another, strengthen one another, be circumspect in these days, and if you can, if it be a higher will, man, be pilgrims in the earth, y'all. We shouldn't be hunkering down, being a prepper. We got to be moving around, right? Shaking and moving, right? And moving with faith, right? And so, that's some more, things I want to talk about as far as a lesson that I want to bring out on just the chosen, how much responsibility is over us, right? And how we need to be moving in faith right now. Don't limit what the Most High can do in your life because you're just content, right? I'm going to tell y'all real talk. The Most High, we are his people. We still can't really realize and fathom what that means. And I'm saying that because a lot of us just want to survive. We just want things to be just better. We just want to have a place to stay. We just want peace. But I's like, no, I made the whole world for your sake, right? And your faith is what releases what he want to do in your life. And so if you're having that, I'm telling y'all, we have to have this mindset of royalty, of entitlement. That's what he said. Let me read it to you. Okay, y'all, we need to start having this mindset because our captivity is being turned. So we don't have to still think with a captive mind. We're supposed to be thinking and expecting the most from the one who has no limits, where nothing is impossible for him. This is how we're supposed to be thinking. If you're not thinking that way, you're hindering your blessings, your increase, your direction, your communication, because you're not believing that you should be getting anything else from the Father. You're just asking for the bare minimum. Telling y'all the truth. And this is not arrogance. This is something that you have to get your mind to understand, right? I'm gonna read another scripture on that too. But this is 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O power, because thou madest the world for our sakes. The Most High made the whole world for Yasharah, right? Now, what does that mean? He gave us a portion and a promised land inheritance, but that doesn't mean everything else and resources that are in land and in the water and in the air aren't also for us. Yes, the whole world is for us. We just have a certain place where he said we're going to live. That's our land, but everything in the earth, he made it for us. It's going to be brought forth when the Messiah comes, and everyone from all nations is going to bring the forces, unto the gates all the time, all year long, for 1,000 years straight, right? It says that he is, 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 55, and all this have I spoken before thee, O power, because thou madest the world for our sakes. We have to understand this. Now, how do we start thinking like this? Let's get on right back to Romans, all right? What does it say in Romans? All right. This is Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, Quadash, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service, right? No worldly music worship. Separate yourself from the world. Be set apart, right? Verse 2. And be not conformed to this world. Right now, our conformality to this world is that we are on the bottom. We're the first fired, last hired, right? That we can't do certain type of things because we got a certain type of complexion, right? We're conformed to this world, but it said, but be ye transformed. That means change up by the renewing of your mind. Renew your mind to understand when we our forefathers in the land that, we was the Most High chosen people. We just, right? The creator of heaven and earth is our power and none else. You have to renew your mind and understand that he got love for us, that he has an expected end for us, that these things are written, and that the first shall be last, and that the last shall be first. Not might be, shall be first. That's us, you guys. You understand? That you may prove what is that good, that acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. You know his will? His will, man, he spoke it. He's going to gather us from all the nations where he scattered us, and we should be no more prey. And he's going to multiply us above our fathers. He's going to bless us, wipe away all our tears. We should lie down. None should make us afraid. We should be thinking about these things. All right? Don't think, I'm going to say this and it's going to be it. Don't think that as a nation, we're going to inherit all nations. As I tell you in Jeremiah, I think 30, we're going to inherit all nations with a mindset of just trying to make it, or just trying to have enough. You have to transform your mind. We're about to have the whole world. All right, all nations are going to come up to our nation and bring the forces. You got to have a mindset to be able to receive that, you guys. And this is the same thing with the things that you're expecting up from the Most High in your everyday life. If all you're looking for is the bare minimum to survive, that's a captive type of mind state. Even though there's nothing sinful about it. But no, that's like someone being the son of a billionaire, but all he want to eat is top ramens every day, and cheeses, and you know what I'm saying? Because he has access to more, but all he wants is that. Now you might get that confused. Say, oh, he's just meek, he's just humble. No, the Most High said he will give these things to us. So if it's the Father's will to give us this stuff, you got to be prepared to receive it. Because the Most High give it to you, you're going to be like, well, what I'm supposed to do with all this land, all this wealth, all this blessing, all this power? It's for us. He's not going to take it from us and give it to the heathens. It's for us. So we got to renew our mind and start understanding and thinking in a royal type of mindset, and a priesthood and a leadership type of mindset, right? That's how it is. This is how the kingdom, bless your name, how it dwelleth in you, because you already got kingdom mindset right now, even though we're not in the kingdom yet, right? So I pray y'all got a little more understanding on it. Most I will. I'll talk more about it, do a lesson on this stuff, because our faith is what, activates, the Most High's works that he had for us. The scripture says the just shall, not might, shall live by faith. So I pray y'all exercising your faith. Pray y'all asking the Most High to increase you in your faith, and anywhere else where you're lacking, so we can be ready. These things are happening quickly and swiftly. We're coming up on sometimes. Some things gonna be happening real quick, y'all. Everything's been happening real quick this year. If you look at it, Trump, he only been in office really like 7 months. He's supposed to have like, according to the term, 4 years. He only been there 7 months. And look at all the stuff that happened, y'all. Look at all the stuff that's happened just in the country. And all the issues he got going on all over the world. This dude, he's doing everything he can to make Babylon be the most hated, right? So pray, y'all hanging in there, y'all doing. We doing the same thing out here. I met some brothers yesterday. The TikTok, my name is on the Shema, but I go on a page of my brother. His name is Sharam, Sharam Yada, Yada, Sharam Yada. So if you go on TikTok, follow my brother Sharam Yada. One of my brothers, that I've been in contact with for a little over 4 years now, and I go on his page and I teach on there. And we have interaction. We had some good interaction. Last night, glory to the Most High, found some brother, that interested in coming out of Babylon. And this is what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be gathering ourselves together, right now. Being able to put aside our differences, and do what the Most High said do. He knew that we have different doctrines, different bringouts, different understandings, but he still said gather yourself together. So I pray that we gathering. And like I said, my name on there is just Shema, right? Go on there, and follow and and just spread the truth, spread the word, you guys. Also I pray, for tomorrow's not promising none of us. I want y'all to know that. It's not promising nobody, right? It's not promising me, right? We living by faith and the grace of Mashiach Yeshai, who shed his blood that we may have life, right? So I pray you living every day, to the fullest, glorifying the Most High in all your ways, loving him, being circumspect with all you do. Right? I tell you in Exodus 23:13, be circumspect in all your ways. Right? Be careful. Don't just chalk everything up. Oh, I got grace. Don't do that. Don't do the Most High like that, man. Take advantage of his grace, man. Give him your best praise, your best worship, your best obedience. And keep him first, right? Don't make him jealous. Don't be distracted. I know football's starting up. I know football's on, and this is why these things are crucial, This is why the football season is going on, because it's the such biggest distraction in America. It's kind of like depressing to me, I used to like it and watch it a lot, but Most High delivered me from it. And I got so much focus, so much more clarity, so much more things that I have in my mind space that I can let enter in, because I'm not thinking about who ran, what touchdown or whatever. And so, real talk, man, don't let football just get all your attention, I pray you not. Get yourself in a quiet place, be still, and just listen for the Most High, right? Pray y'all strength. Y'all continue to pray for me. Most High will. And Most High will, I'll get back with y'all probably tomorrow, or when the Most High Spirit will it, right? All praise always in the Most Mighty, Hayashua, Hayabahashim Yeshai, Kwam Yasharala. Be mighty, be blessed, be powerful, walk in the Spirit, y'all. Shalom.